Hey guys, my name is Clifton and welcome to another whiskey review. Today we're reviewing the elusive Weller 12. So funny story about Weller, when I lived in South Carolina, I could never find a Weller product anywhere. Whether it's the Special Reserve or the 107, it just was not on the shelves. Luckily, since moving to California, the 107 is still hard to come by, but the Weller Special Reserve isn't as hard to find. It's not normally on the shelves. It's normally like $50 where it stays on the shelves. But there's one store that I paid $22 for this, so pretty good price. I know it's probably a little bit above MSRP. But one thing that I cannot find and probably won't be able to find is Weller 12. And first of all, I want to say thanks to Brian Allred. Again, he sent me an amazing sample of this. So excited to try it. This is one that I always assume I probably just wouldn't be able to get my hands on. And I'm a big fan of wheated bourbons. Actually, Larceny was one of the first bourbons I ever bought. And lately I've been drinking a lot of Maker's 46. So I love wheated bourbons. So I'm excited to try this 12-year-old age-dated bourbon from Buffalo Trace. We're going to try it out. I also poured a little bit of the Weller Special Reserve to compare it to, just because this is the one that I have the most experience with. The Special Reserve used to be age-stated. It used to be a 7-year whiskey. Now they removed the age statement, so it's probably still around that, probably a little bit younger. But this one's definitely a 12-year. So we're going to see if the extra age adds that much to the whiskey. And if it does it justify the rarity of it? I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, I've never seen a bottle of this for sale anywhere. So first, I want to start by doing a taste of the Weller Special Reserve, just to kind of set my base palate for this. On the nose, the Special Reserve is so sweet. And that's one of the things I love about wheated bourbons. They're a lot sweeter than ryes, and they're not as sharp. Like, even this is only 90 proof, so it's not going to be that bad. But I've noticed wheated bourbons, especially like Maker's Private Select, the high proof stuff, it doesn't burn like a rye whiskey does. I guess it's just a combination of the rye with the high proof. But for a wheated bourbon, it's so drinkable. So that's what I love about them. But I get a lot of like sweet corn on the nose of this one. It is sort of bready. I mean, that makes sense because it's a wheated bourbon. But yeah, it's a really nice nose. It's very approachable. And if you're someone that doesn't even drink whiskey, a wheated bourbon is a great place to start, whether it's Maker's Mark or Larceny, or Weller if you can find it. So on the nose, the Weller Special Reserve is really good, but I'm curious how it compares to the Weller 12. The nose is similar, but I'm getting a lot more of those oaky notes that I get on some of my older bourbons that I have. You can definitely tell that there is some age on this one that's significantly more than that one. Still a lot of the sweet corn notes, but I think the oak kind of shows up very well in that, whereas on the Special Reserve it doesn't. So we're going to go ahead and give the Special Reserve a taste, and just kind of, like I said, set our palate for it. No burn at all. That is just pure, sweet caramel, candy. Like I said, there's not much oak on the Special Reserve, because it is younger. I mean, not compared to some of the other bourbons out there like Jim Beam and stuff, but it's young especially just compared to a 12-year. But there is some oak on the finish. You get some of that like wood, I guess, tannins on the finish. But yeah, that's really good, and that reminds me why I love wheated whiskeys. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna try the 12-year now, and see how it compares. Well, first of all, like I don't know if you can see the legs on that, but they're really going, which is weird because it's only like a 90 proof. Usually I get that more on high proof stuff. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's incredible. I'm so sad that I don't have a bottle of it. Oh, it's so good. So it reminds me of what I like about Maker's 46, which if you don't know, it's basically Maker's Mark, and they finish it with some additional types of wood staves. So it has the extra oakiness, and a lot more certain flavors are brought forward based on the staves that they use for it. This reminds me a lot of that, but it's definitely better. I mean, no doubt about that. Of course, the price point on this is, a lot higher. So it looks like retail on the Weller 12 is about $35 now. Although it's funny enough, I found an article from 2016. It said Weller Special Reserve is 18, Weller 107 is 19, and Weller 12 is 25. So big difference now. But 35 is about the going rate for it now, which puts it kind of in line with Maker's 46. It's a little pricier than Maker's 46, but Maker's 46 is nowhere near as old. Yeah, this is really good. I do probably prefer the Maker's Private Selects where they're like cask strength. They're kind of like Maker's 46, but they're different staves, and it's a hotter proof. So I would probably prefer that over this one. But their Weller is actually releasing a foolproof whiskey sometime soon, so I'm definitely gonna try to get my hands on that, because this, it may not be the 12-year foolproof. That's more of like the William LaRue Weller, like Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. But even if it's more like the Special Reserve at foolproof, I imagine that's gonna be delicious. Notes, I mean, it's a classic bourbon, but in all the right ways. I mean, it's sweet, but you get like deep, dark, oaky, dark caramel notes I get on it. Not really as fruity. It's honey, but it's not like a fruit sweetness. Although an interesting note I'm getting on, especially the nose of it, is like a fresh like plum, or like a muscadine, and it reminds me of a muscadine wine. I know I've never got that note on a whiskey before. It's not on the taste as much. It's a little bit like in the back of my mouth I can kind of get that, but on the nose I do get a lot of like perfumey like muscadine, which I think it's nice. It reminds me of kind of like a finished whiskey. I'm going to be holding on to this sample bottle for a little while because that's incredible. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about it other than if you can find this at not secondary prices, I wouldn't pay secondary for it. That's me personally. I'm just not into paying secondary. If you can find this under $50, grab it. The Weller 12 is an incredible whiskey. Now the Special Reserve is good. If you can find it for $21 or whatever, get it. It's good. But it can't compete. That is next level, especially for a wheated whiskey. That's one of my favorites I've ever had. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe if you like watching these whiskey reviews. I try to put one video out a week and then one live stream a week. So yeah, definitely would appreciate the likes and the subscriptions and the comments. I love it all. It means a lot to me, and we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to plan something big for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you have ever had Weller 12 or just any of the Weller lineup. What do you think about it? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's overpriced? And would you consider paying secondary for it? I personally wouldn't, but I know some people do. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye.